So we're back again. Let me allow some people to join us. Okay, I'm gonna admit this person. Admit this one, okay. So we are in. One more person is okay. We are all in. Now, let us go back to where we stopped and continue from there. Now we have the histogram. Now, histogram, in a histogram, the length of this, if you look at the bars, it's a bar graph where the length of bars represent the frequency. These are the data values, and the length of each of them represent the frequency. And they are, they are close together. Now, to draw a histogram, you have your vertical, if you remember from your algebra class, you have the x-axis and the y-axis. Then you use your ruler and pencil to do the drawing. Now, but for this class, we'll be using Excel to draw the histogram. So when you draw it, you can now copy it and paste it in whatever, if it's a project. And then you can now write an interpretation of this, of the result. So now the question says, the same question we have, let's say that we have, this is, remember that we have the original question here, which is this one here. It said, this is the class interval and frequency. And they say, the question here is to construct a frequency, a histogram for this. You ask to construct a histogram for this. What you are going to do is to get the boundaries first. As a matter of fact, you can use the class interval as well to draw the histogram, but it's usually better to use the boundary to draw it, because the class interval, you can see from 59 to 114, then from 114 to 115, you can see that there's a small gap. So that gap, the boundary closes that gap. So how do we get the boundary? I will show you in a minute. So this is the way. The first thing you do is to subtract the upper class interval of the first class. Okay. Subtract this, which is 140 from the lower class interval of the second class. So that means 115 minus 114, which is 1. Then you divide the answer by 2. So when you divide it by 2, you get 0.5. So let me show you mathematically. You can see. So the upper class interval of the first class, you subtract it from the lower class interval of the second class. So you've got to be 115 minus 114 divided by 2. So that means we got okay, what is my calculator? Okay. So you've got have 115 minus 114, okay, divided by 2, give me 0.5. So that's how you get this 0.5 that you have here. So this is 0.5. So once you get this as this number here, next thing is to add it, subtract it from 59, from everything on the left side, subtract 0.5 from this, then add 0.5 from this. So 59 minus 0.5, you can see that 59 minus 0.5 give me 58.5. And that's what you see as their first lower class boundary. You can see right here, 58.5.
So why are we subtracting it from the
left side?
Are we subtracting it because lower is like minus and then upper is plus?
No. It's just the way of doing it. The convention, you subtract it from the first class, but you add it on the second class. I mean, you subtract it from the lower class interval, but you add it on the upper class interval so that you are trying to close the gap. Now, let me explain more. If you look at this, we subtracted this from here, we get 58.5, right? We added it here, we get 114.5. You follow it for all of them. Now, look at this. There is no more gap. See? The gap is closed. Unlike here, where after 114, you have a gap before you get 115. But in this case, there's no more gap. Yeah, it's closed. So with this boundary now, you can now have your frequency as we get from the first our first work we did here. You can now draw your histogram. So I'm going to take you to the place where we'll draw the histogram, and then you can see it here.
Professor?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, I'm trying to get the equation right, so it's going to be easy for me. Sorry. So the class boundaries, I did half distance, which is a 0.5 minus the lower class interval. Is that right?
No, 59 minus 0.5.
Which is 0.5.
That will give you 58.5.
Okay, so then to get the
upper one,
interval,
add it.
Add the half distance.
Yeah, 0.5 plus 114, that gives you 114.5.
Okay, thank you.
So on this side, the right side, you add it, but on the left side, you subtract it.
Okay.
Sorry.
Yeah. So now, go ahead.
I missed how you got the 0.5.
Oh, how
Yeah,
got
can you
0.5?
say that again, please?
Sure. It's right here. As a matter of fact, let me use this one. You subtract the first upper class interval value from the second lower class interval, then divide the answer by 2. So that means, let me show you. That means 150 minus 114 divided by 2. So I will have got 115 minus 114. Okay, then divided by 2.5. So that's how I get the 0.5. So once you get it, you add it on the right side, but you subtract it on the left side. So if you subtract it on each of these left numbers, you get these answers here. We add it on each of 0.5 to all these right numbers, you get this. So the class, the gap is closed now. Yeah. So with this, we are ready to draw the graph. Like I said, you use a ruler and pencil, but for this class, we'll be using Excel. So I'm going to take you to Excel where I entered the numbers already. Let's see, where's my Excel at? I think this is it right here. You can see the numbers are already here, right? Can you see the screen?
Yes.
So you highlight it here, highlight all of them. Depending on the version of Excel you are using, click on Insert. Okay, use the recommended charts. I can use this here. Click on this one, sit down here, right? And click OK. And that will give you the chart right away. Then, once you have the chart, you can then format the chart. You know what? Let me put it on the other side. I'm going to move this to this side so that we can have it here by this side of the data set. Now, you can format the chart now because in a boundary they should be together. Am I right? They should be together. So what you're gonna do is let us format the chart first. Can you see this place? Can you see my cursor?
Yes.
Click on that so I can choose what you want to add here as this title. Now this thing is for GPS prices, I believe. We're using the same data for GPS prices, right? Let's see. Yep, this is for the following. Okay, the following are the prices of 30 portable GPSs. Okay, so that's what it means. Price. So based on that, we can now see what we can add in Excel or in our histogram. So we have, let's see, I think I didn't put it right. Excuse me. So you can see the prices here. I'm typing the prices. Prices. GPS in dollars. Okay. And this is the number of GPS, that is number of, you can call it frequency, like. Okay. This way you can change the title to GPS prices. GPS prices in dollars. Okay. Now, like I said, the histogram, they have to be together. They have to be together. So what you're gonna do to make them to be together, you click on inside it, click here, and then I wanna click on this side. Here. Let's see. Oh, you know what? I think you're gonna right click here. Right click and choose. I think it's format data series. Give me 1 minute. I'm gonna. Oh yeah, you know what? Just click on the bar here. This bar. Any of them. Right click, and you see where it says format data series. So in some Excel, in some version of Excel, it will give you that information automatically. But in my own, it doesn't. So I just right click on any of the bars and I choose that. Then you can see gap width. So you close it. Okay. Now what? I'm going to close it backward. See, it closes the gap. So I normally leave it when it is like 3 points. Yep. And that's our histogram right there. Questions? Any question on this?
Professor, the graph, is it originally histogram or you just converted it? I thought
it wasn't histogram. It wasn't histogram is when you change it to this form.
Okay, it was a bar chart.
Yeah, yes.
Okay, so we now just
actually histogram is a special type of bar chart.
Okay.
If you are doing a project, you can copy this, click on it and copy it, and then go to your project where you are typing, excuse me. Yeah, we are typing in the project. I think it's this. Can you see my screen?
Yeah.
And then you can paste it here. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Once you paste it, you can now continue your typing. Okay. For example, let's look at the interpretation of this. Now, this is the prices. So the GPS of the price range, $114, $170 is the most of them of the GPS. See, as 8 of them belong to this price. So they sell for $114 to $114.50 to $170.50. Majority of them. So, but if you want to look at all of this, but the rest of them, I would say I will write it this way: the GPS of price range, yeah, are $114. 50 cents to $170. 50 cents. The GPS of this price range is more popular. And those are the other price ranges. You can see this is just one way of interpreting it. You can interpret it in a different form. Now, the one that is sold for $338.50. Please, can you mute yourself, please? Hello? Can you mute yourself, please? Now this one is here is the less popular. And in the PowerPoint, the way I interpreted it in the presentation, I interpreted it this way. You can see that what I have written here. Okay, we have this. I didn't interpret it, did I? I did not, okay. What is my history? Okay, this is my histogram here. You can see why it is drawn. It says here that you can see that more than half of the GPS are priced below $226.50. This is another way of interpreting it. So either way is still correct. Now I know a journalist can write who article on this if they know how to talk. For us in the calculation part of it, we just give you the data, give you the results. Now you can use it to write what you want to write.
Professor, I just have a quick question. So right here where it says the graphs and charts, we can use any of those type of charts as long as we interpret the data, the sum of the data at the end. Because I see on the Excel sheet you're using a bar graph or bar chart.
Because the question say construct a histogram.
Oh,
so
okay.
if you say construct a histogram, that means you have to use a histogram. So you answer it based on what the question asked.
Okay.
Now,
all right, thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Now, look at other questions, other graph, and we discuss here. They include we have done histogram already. Let's look at bar charts, pie charts, and stem and leaf plots. Okay, I will start with the bar chart because we just did a histogram, which you can see here. After we put it here, interpreted it. Yeah. So let's look at bar chart. In the bar chart, the bars will be separated. They will not be together like this one. Yeah. So it's a type of bar graph whereby the bars are separated. So let's see. Okay, well, we didn't do his frequency polygon. Okay, before we do the bar chart, let's look at his frequency polygon. Frequency polygon, in a frequency polygon, you plot the midpoint against the frequencies. So now, in this case, we have the midpoint already here. So you plot this midpoint against the frequency. So let's, and the same way we interpret histogram, the same way we interpret frequency polygon. Let's do it in a minute. Like, first of all, let me write the numbers down. So the only difference between this one is that in a histogram, you're plotting the boundaries. If you remember the boundaries here, you plot the boundaries and the frequency. But in a frequency polygon, this one, you are plotting the midpoint and the frequency. So I'm gonna write it down. I have 86.5, 14, 142.5, 198.5. These are the midpoint. I explained to you how to get it in our first lecture. 254.5, 310.5, 366.5, 4.2.5, and the frequencies are 5, 8, 6, 5, 2, 1, 3. Let me put them in so I can show you how to draw the frequency polygon. Again, you can use freehand sketches, but for this class we're using Excel. So let me take you to Excel so I can draw it. I'm going to put them in a new workbook. So midpoints, and frequency. So we have it here. I'll make it a little bit bigger. So midpoints we have 86.5. And we have 142.5. And we got 198.5.
193.5.
254.5.
254.5. 310.5. 366.5.
Right.
And 422.5.
Thank you very much. And the other one is the frequency 58.
586. 5 2
1 3, right?
1 3.
So now once you get it, all you have to do is to highlight it, both of them, click on insert, and then choose this one. I normally use that because if you use this one, you have to go back and start formatting it again. So it's better to just use this one, get a result, quicker. I click on it and I choose, this is a line graph. I can choose from here, even the graph right away. Now, with this, I can the same thing we did for the bar histogram. Choose the axis, and this is for GPS prices, and then price, GPS price. So you have to have a price in dollars, and then the frequency. Okay. Let me remove these grid lines because they always I'm going to remove them. Okay, that's the so I will call it frequency polygon. Or GPS prices data. Okay. Now, if you are doing a project, you can just copy it. Copy this and go to where you are typing your project, which is a Word document. I'll go down and then paste it there. And why do we call it a polygon? Because this graph will be closed. You have to close it to the next number, which is 50. And we look at the frequency distribution is 85, right? And the last one, the lowest price is 59. If you remember the class width, you just subtract the class width from here. 86.5. Our class width was 56, I believe. So you subtract it 86.5 minus 56. So I'm going to do 86.5, 86.5 minus our class width of 56. Give me 30.5. So that means we're going to close it at 30.5. 30.5. So you can just close it by inserting any of this. A line 30.5, which will be around here. And we can make it a thick line. Okay. Now, then you close this one as well to 450. So you can just close it. That's what they call it. Look like a histogram. That's what they call it, a histogram frequency polygon. It look like a polygon. A polygon is a plane figure with straight sides. Yeah, this is it. So that's the frequency polygon for you. And you can even see it from my from this work, what I have here. I see it from here. You can see what I can see. See the one I drawn this. You see, go all the way and then close at 30.5. You can see it. The same thing with what I have.
Sorry, Professor, can I just cut you? How did you, the 30.5 that you used to close up, how did you get it.
You subtract the last class width from class midpoint from, so subtract class width from, see, this is 86.5. If you remember the class width we got at the beginning of this tonight lecture, we got a class width when we are doing our frequency distribution, frequency distribution, so we have our class width as 56. So you subtract the 56 from the last number in the class interval, sorry, in the class midpoint. See, 86.5 minus 56, I'll give you 30.5. That's how we got it. Yeah. Any other question on this? Any other question?
No.
All right. Now, relative frequency histogram. We're not going to do that because we're not going to ask. So that one is just repeating the same thing. So what we're going to be doing next will be cumulative frequency graph, and after that, we can now do our bar chart. Now, let's look at the cumulative frequency graph. This is it. We call it the Ogive. So remember, we are still using the same data. We are asked to say construct an Ogive for the GPS and navigator distribution. So to find the Ogive, construct the Ogive. Now, to get the Ogive, which is another name for cumulative frequency frequency distribution. Now, graph, cumulative frequency distribution graph. So you have our, remember how we get that? We have our cumulative frequency already. If you remember from our chart, sorry, my mistake. If you remember from this chart here, this one here, I showed you how to get the cumulative frequency before that one. So here, you can see it's from when we are doing this. Okay, right here. Yeah, remember here, the first number stayed the same. To get the next number, you add to 8 to get 13. 13 plus 6 get that. So in the cumulative frequency graph, you are plotting the class interval or class boundary and the cumulative frequency. So you want to plot the two of them together. That will give you the cumulative frequency. So we have it here already. So let's do it on this one. You have go to Excel, so make it easier and faster for us to draw those graphs. Now, okay, let me see. We have this already. Let me copy this data from here. We have the boundaries and the frequency. The boundaries and the frequency. So I'm gonna place them here. In the other workbook, the numbers, see, the boundaries and the frequency. Let's get the cumulative frequency first. Cumulative frequency. Frequency. Okay. Just a minute, somebody's knocking at my door. Give me 1 minute, let me open the door for my wife is back. 1 minute. Okay. Right back. Yeah. Sorry about that. I have to open the door for my wife. So, all right, let's see. Now, you guys are still there with me?
Yes.
Yes.
So now, now we have only 10 minutes left again. Don't worry. If it stops, we can just give it 10 minutes and log back in, okay? Now let's see. Now, next thing we do is to get the cumulative frequency. Remember, the first one stayed the same, 5, okay? To get the second one, remember what I told you, you add to the next number 5 plus 8, give you the next one. So in Excel, I'll do it very fast. 5 plus 8. See, this 5 plus this 8. So you add to the next number. That gives you 9. In Excel, one thing with Excel, when you do the first one, you can copy it down and it will get the rest. So copy it down to give you the rest of them. Yeah. Now you're about to plot the Ogive. Okay. So what you're gonna do is to remove this frequency because it will block it. So I'm gonna remove it. Delete the column. Oh, excuse me, I can't delete it like that. Okay. It won't allow me. Okay. All right. Undo. Let me undo it. Okay. What I'm gonna do is to copy them separately. The boundaries. Copy it and paste it here. Okay. Good. Now, the cumulative frequency, I'm going to copy it and then paste it here. So with this, we are ready to draw the Ogive. So what you're going to do is to highlight all of this, insert. Like I say, I usually choose this one. So I'm going to have it this. See, give it a chart right away. And then you can now add the axis titles. Guys, or the GPS price data. Okay. Then here, these are the prices. Prices in dollars. And here you're gonna write not frequency this time, you're gonna write cumulative frequency. Cumulative frequency. Yeah. And then if you like, I can remove these grid lines. Okay, so the grid lines, I'm gonna remove them. Now, Ogive usually go all the way to the end. You have to extend it back to the end. And then, the prices, all these represent 100, 200. No, this have to be formatted. As a way you format it. I forgot the, you have to format this. Maybe I put the, you know what I'm gonna do? I'll draw it. Have to what are here? This number shouldn't be here. So I'm gonna redo it again. Let me do it again. So what I'm gonna do is to format it. Okay. I say I can play tricks on you sometimes. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna play a little trick on Excel. I'm gonna write this, make it like this. Play a little trick so that it won't give us the number. Okay. Instead of giving us a different thing, to give us the number. All right, let me draw it again. Okay. So insert. Okay, use this. It's giving me the same thing. Okay. Let's see. Now, let me look at, see what I can do to get it different.
Professor, the first time that you highlighted, yeah, the first one did not highlight. Maybe that's why it's not going all the way to the bottom.
If you go this way, then the best thing to do is to, you know what you're gonna do to get it right? Because this is cumulative. We just, in the cumulative, we are plotting only the upper boundaries anyway. So what we're gonna do is to remove the lower boundaries and plot only the upper boundaries. That should give us the result. Okay, let me remove the lower boundaries and plot only the upper boundaries. Okay. All right, that should take care of it. If it doesn't take care of it, you just Excel plain trick on. Oh, we have a limited time on this. Limited time. Don't worry, we'll get it. Okay, then let me show Excel. We are bigger than you, Excel. Okay. All right, I'm bigger than you. I just a trick I play with it when it starts acting up like this. And each time I use it, it gives me what I want. Okay. Now you can now highlight it, insert this and that. Unbelievable. Okay, I'm gonna figure out why it is giving me these numbers here instead of the actual values that we need. In any case, the graph is drawn. We have our cumulative Ogive or GPS prices data. Then of course, you can here and put the axis titles. Have the prices in dollars. Then the frequency. We have the cumulative frequency. Okay. Now you can remove the grid lines. But you can see that it's cumulative frequency. It goes all the way, so you can stretch it all the way down. Now this section, you can select data. Okay, let me see if this works. Okay, I'm gonna select this data. Okay. It will select only one of them. I want to select all of them. Present the category. Switch. Okay. Oh, I see. I'm gonna select. It's blocking me here. Okay, you know what? Let me move this thing down. Okay, move it down. I move it down a little bit to have less. Okay, good. Let me see if this works. Okay. Here. Okay. Well, I will find out why it's doing this and figure it out, and then I'll explain to you. Maybe we might need to use a different. But you need to use this graph, this one here. Might use any of this instead of that one. Yeah, that might be the cause. Use any of this. So we will find out when we come back in the next session, because we have less than a minute now. So when we come back, I will figure out what is wrong, and then we'll put it there, and then we'll continue. Okay? Okay. Hello.
Hello, Professor. When we come back,
Okay.
can you go over this again? When we come back.
Basic frequency, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When we come back, we look at this cumulative frequency. That's where we'll start. We'll start from the cumulative frequency and then move on to the next stage. Okay. So log back in when I close this, log back in after 10 minutes, and then we will finish up. Okay.
Okay.